Have
Yeah.
you ever felt pressure to become the character your audience expects instead of yourself?
Oh, excellent. Another excellent question. Big question. Do you know something? I have been a kind of a studier of social media for, I'd probably say quite some time. And maybe, I was fortunate in a sense where I was a teenager, sort of in my early 20s when social media became a thing. So I was able to kind of see the transition of people embracing social media, and then I'm seeing from other people how they have developed either a certain characteristic, or they will, be known for certain phrasings, or they'll post about certain things. And maybe I didn't really notice it at the time because, why would you? Because it's not, you're not focused on that. But as time has gone on, um, yeah, let's just say I fell into that trap as well. There were periods where, let's just say before I was building my business, where I thought in order to, either gain some kind of, I don't know, maybe peer acceptance, or, just to
Mm,
kind of seem credible, that there needed to be some kind of either persona or stereotype that needed to be played up to.
yes.
Um, whilst I don't particularly want to derail the conversation into talking about that in particular, but let's focus on kind of the here and now, where in terms of being more conscious of building a personal brand, the idea was that I always wanted to be genuine and honest, not just with how I carry myself on a day-to-day basis, but whilst I was working in the corporate world, I worked in corporate financial services for almost 10 years in the city of London. And this is a world where many people are inauthentic in order to get
Mm,
ahead. I am encountering a lot of people who, in my own personal opinion, were not capable or were less than capable, but yet were being positioned. I'm using language I'm using now, but it's almost like you see it when you kind of look back on it. These people are being positioned in places where they have the illusion of being capable. Whereas maybe I was a bit misguided in this thinking, where I could go ahead and try and do the right thing as such, and it wasn't getting me anywhere. And then you would think to yourself, and I'm sure many other people will probably think like this as well, where they're thinking to themselves, in order to get ahead, or in order to actually, if your designs are to succeed in the corporate world, or even to succeed in business almost to an extent, we see it a lot with influencer culture now, where we are seeing people that are taking on this, either like they're acting, it's either they're acting or they're taking on a persona in order to generate interest and attention. And I'll get onto attention in just a moment. So is this something that affected me? I would probably say yes, to a point at the beginning, because I didn't really have a clue what I was doing. I think when you're in the experimental stage of when you're starting out, especially when you're building a visible personal brand, you can get away with trying a few things and seeing what sticks. But then at the same time, if you're persisting with just experimenting, like I mentioned earlier, where you're not actually executing what you're doing, then you're just going to go round and round in circles, and you're not going to end up making any money, which is exactly what happened. So there had to be a point where you have to kind of almost say to yourself, who is it that you want to be, and what is it that you actually stand for? What is your, I don't want to say the word niche, but you kind of do in a way. What's your lane? What's your angle? What is it that you want to be known for in the marketplace? And once I finally understood that, it was almost like a light bulb moment. And this only happened at the end of last year, right? And at the end of last year, the light bulb moment comes on, and I'm like, do you know what? I'm going to sit down, and I'm going to actually I'm going to thrash it out. And I'm just going to try and figure out what it is that matters the most to me, and I'm just going to go forward with this vision. And literally, since I've been doing that, it's crazy what's happened, because being authentic has been able to not only build relationships, but also it's helped to get the message out there. It's almost like what I'm trying to communicate in terms of who I'm wanting to work with, and also the approach that I'm hopefully trying to portray online, is one of a real person. I don't need to use particular words or do stunts or dance or whatever. It's like what you see is kind of what you get, and if this resonates with you, brilliant. Please come along for the ride. We'll grow together. That's kind of the aim, really, where it's not so much about, oh, come and follow Tion, he's amazing, but I want to create a community of like-minded, ambitious people that believe that they can ascend or achieve more with the life and the gifts and the talents that they've been given. So, yeah, authentic all the way. Authentic all the way. I think changing that approach now would be wrong. And God willing, if my business grows and if my presence grows, then yeah, there could be temptations to kind of play to the crowd, but I wouldn't want to, and I would rather stay small and be authentic than to be a paid
Yeah.
act as such.